I want to share with you my new favorite stitch, the bead stitch. So to make your bead, you're going to skip a stitch, and the following stitch, you're going to work a double crochet. And the double crochet is going to serve as the backbone for our bead stitch. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to basically wrap the yarn around this double crochet. And this stitch is reversible, which is nice. So yarn over, insert your hook into that space between the double crochet and your previous bead stitch, yarn over, pull through loop. We're going to do that 2 more times. We should have 3 loops on the hook. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through loop. You should have 5 loops on your hook, and we're going to do it 1 more time. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through loop. Now you should have 7 loops on your hook. And we're going to yarn over and pull through 6 of the loops, so 1 should stay behind. So yarn over, pull through 6 loops, leaving 1 behind. So now you should have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So that is a single bead. Stay tuned and I'll show you the rest of the stitch pattern later this week. This beautiful and delicate stitch is the spider stitch. You're going to start with an even number of chains and working into the second chain from hook, so not the first one, but the second one, right here. You're going to work a single crochet, and then chain 1, and single crochet back into that same chain. Now skip the next chain, and in the following chain, you're going to repeat what you just did. So into that same chain, work a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and that's row 1. For row 2, we're working into the chain 1 spaces we just created. So into this chain 1 space, you're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet all into that same chain 1 space. And you're just going to repeat that all the way across the row. So skip the next 2 single crochets, and into the next chain 1 space. Right here, you're going to work your single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And you just repeat row 2 until your project reaches your desired length. The aligned cobble is a 2-row repeat, only uses 2 stitches, and is a good one for beginners to try after you've mastered the basic stitches. Begin with an even number of chains, and for your first row, you're going to single crochet across. This is a 2-row repeat pattern, so obviously this isn't the first row I'm showing you, but this is what you will be doing for the first row. Just work a single crochet into each stitch all the way across. When you reach the end of that row, chain 1 and turn. For this next row, we're alternating single crochets and treble crochets. So work a single crochet in that first stitch and treble in the next, so yarn over twice, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. That's your treble crochet, and then your next stitch is another single crochet, and that single crochet makes the treble pop out on the other side, which is where you get the texture of the stitch. And then the following stitch is a treble, and all you're doing is alternating trebles and single crochets all the way across, and you should end with a single crochet. And then you can chain 1 and turn, and then your next row is going to be another row of single crochets. And you can just alternate those 2 rows until your project reaches your desired length. You can find the full length tutorial for this stitch on my YouTube channel, modern_maid.
Here's how to crochet knit stitches, because knitting does look cuter sometimes. So the yarn I'm using is a size 4 and from the brand Rico Design, and the hook I'm using is a size 8. So you want to start off with a basic chain and chain any number you want, but keep in mind that the whole thing will shrink a little. Then you want to skip the first chain, yarn over and go through the second loop, and then just pull the last one through. You want to keep on doing this until the end of the row. Now in the second row you want to yarn over, and then you will see 2 of these chains. You want to take the bottom one and pull the hook through it, and basically do the same thing as in the first row. I know it looks kind of complicated, but once you get it, it's super easy. Now keep going into the bottom chain until the end of the row. I am now realizing how bad I am at explaining, but for the third row you basically want to do the same thing. But instead of going into the bottom chain, you want to go into the top chain. And then you just keep doing this for every row. You want to alternate between those stitches. And the front is supposed to look like this and the back like this. And if the stitches look kind of separated, you just have to pull the whole thing. And hopefully now you can knit stitch.
So you finished your crochet project, but now you want to create a beautiful border to give it that professional finish. Let's learn how to do it.
This is the finished look, and it's really professional. So the way we do this is we go through both loops, and then we yarn over, and that will leave you with 2 loops on your hook. Then you need to take that long yarn and wrap it around the back of your hook. That will create this nice pattern. Then yarn over and pull through. It's as easy as that. Let's do it again. So hook through, yarn over, 2 loops on your hook, take the yarn, wrap it around the back of your hook. The wraparound gives that gorgeous border for the pattern, and then you're going to finish off by yarning over and pulling through the 2 loops. My top tip for this is to make sure that you have even tension all the way along to give a professional finish.
Follow for more crochet tips you didn't know you needed.
This is a stunning beginner stitch that only uses single crochets, the moss stitch. First, make a slip knot, then chain an even number. For this swatch, I'm chaining 16. For row 1, working in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do our first single crochet. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. This is the pattern repeat for the row. After skipping 1 stitch, we're going to do the same again, making a single crochet, chaining 1 and then skipping the next stitch. Repeat this across the row until you have 2 stitches left. To finish the row, do the same as before, skipping 1 stitch and making a single crochet into the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now we need to identify where we're placing our single crochets for this row, as we'll be working in the chain 1 space instead of the top of the stitches. If you use your thumb and middle finger to part the stitches, you should be able to see these gaps where the chain 1 space is. For row 2, the pattern is like this: single crochet into the chain space and chain 1. Then you'll find the next chain space and do the same again, making a single crochet into the chain space and then chaining 1. Do this across the entire row until you reach the end. After you've made the last single crochet into the last chain space and chained 1, we're going to make a single crochet into the top of the first stitch from the previous row. To do this, we'll turn our work towards us and find that usual V we recognise and place a single crochet here. Chain 1 and turn your work. Use stitch markers to help you keep track of the first and last stitches in each row, so you know where to make your last single crochet to finish every row. And that's the moss stitch. It looks great using chunky yarn too. Happy crocheting!
If you want to crochet a fabric that is opaque, stretchy, and has a modern knit-like look, it only takes 2 stitches. The first is a yarn over slip stitch in the back loop only. Yarn over, insert your hook through the back loop, yarn over, pull through, and pull through both loops. And repeat that across the row. The second is a slip stitch in the back loop only. So you're just going to slip stitch in the back loop only across the second row. And you just want to repeat alternating those 2 stitches. I especially love how the stitch combo looks in sweaters and cardigans. So
today I'm going to teach you how to crochet the Suzette stitch. In the first stitch, crochet 1 single crochet, followed by 1 double crochet into that same stitch. Then you're going to skip the next stitch, and in the following stitch, work 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet again into that same stitch. And that's the pattern you're going to repeat across the row. That's skip 1 stitch, in the next stitch, work 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Skip the next stitch, in the following stitch, work 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet into the same stitch. For a more detailed tutorial, check out the YouTube video that I've linked in the comments.
This is how you crochet the primrose stitch. For the beginning chain, you need multiples of 3 plus 2. For this swatch, I used 26 chains. I'm going to start the foundation row by adding a single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. Then I'm going to chain 2 and add a 2nd single crochet into the same chain. Then I'm going to skip 2 stitches and add a single crochet into the 3rd chain, chain 2 and add a 2nd single crochet into the same chain. I'm going to repeat that pattern until the end of the row and end the row with a half double crochet into the very last chain. Then I'm going to chain 3 and add 3 double crochet into every chain 2 space. Then I'm going to end the row with a double crochet into the top of the turning chain from the foundation row. If this is moving too quickly for you, the extended version is going to be tagged in the comments where each row gets its own video. For row 3, I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to skip 2 stitches and add a single crochet into the 3rd stitch, chain 2, and add a 2nd single crochet into the same stitch. Then I'm going to skip 2 stitches again and repeat the single crochet and 2 chains all the way until the end, and then add a half double crochet on top of the turning chain. From there, I'm just going to repeat rows 2 and 3 until I have the size that I want.